Planning to visit the U.S. sounds exciting until your visa gets denied. For many hopeful travelers across Asia, that's exactly what's happening. According to the U.S. Department of State, some Asian countries are seeing sky-high U.S. visa rejection rates, leaving thousands frustrated and stranded. So, what's behind these rejections? From security concerns to suspected overstays, the reasons vary. Today on Globe Discoveries, we're counting down the 10 Asian countries with the highest U.S. visa denial rates. If you're from one of these nations, be prepared for a rough ride at the embassy. And before we get started, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on more engaging content. Number 10. Thailand. Thailand may be a hotspot for American tourists, but when the roles are reversed, things get tricky. According to U.S. State Department visa statistics, Thai applicants face a non-immigrant visa rejection rate of nearly 25% as of 2024. That figure has been steadily increasing due to rising concerns about visa overstays and insufficient documentation. One major issue is that a growing number of Thai citizens are flagged for intending to stay in the U.S. longer than permitted. This has made consular officers more cautious, even when applicants show travel itineraries or return plans. Unfortunately, good intentions don't always translate to approved applications. Applicants without strong financial backing or proof of employment are hit the hardest. If the consular officer suspects you don't have enough incentive to return home, it's likely a denial will follow. And unlike some other processes, there's little recourse once the decision is made. Even students and tourists with full documentation are often turned away. Many applicants report receiving vague or no explanation beyond the standard refusal letter. This leaves many feeling disheartened and unsure of how to improve their chances. While Thailand isn't the worst on this list, its climbing rejection rate is a wake-up call. With heightened scrutiny and tighter policies, many Thai nationals are now thinking twice before applying. The dream of seeing the Statue of Liberty is becoming harder to reach. Number 9. Pakistan. Pakistan faces some of the highest U.S. visa rejection rates in Asia, with a consistent refusal rate of over 30%, according to the U.S. Department of State. Many applicants are denied due to concerns about overstays and incomplete documentation. The political relationship between the U.S. and Pakistan also plays a role in fueling this skepticism. Applicants without strong family ties or financial stability are often flagged as high risk for not returning home. The U.S. Embassy in Islamabad has emphasized the importance of clear, credible travel intentions. Still, rejections continue to impact students, professionals, and tourists alike. Security concerns are another hurdle. Given the ongoing counterterrorism concerns, applicants from specific regions within Pakistan face extra scrutiny. This can result in long wait times or immediate denials. Even skilled workers and students with sponsorships often find the process frustratingly unpredictable. Many report attending interviews with full documentation only to be turned away without a clear reason. The lack of transparency adds to the anxiety. For Pakistanis hoping to visit or study in the U.S., the odds remain stacked against them. While not impossible, getting a U.S. visa often feels like winning a lottery ticket, and many have simply stopped trying. Number 8. Nepal. Nepal, known for its breathtaking mountains, faces an unexpectedly high U.S. visa denial rate, hovering around 35%, according to State Department data. The main issues stem from insufficient proof of financial stability and intent to return home. Consular officers often remain unconvinced that applicants won't overstay. Many Nepali citizens apply for tourist or student visas with limited financial documentation, which raises red flags. Even minor inconsistencies in paperwork can result in automatic disqualification. This has made the process feel intimidating for first-time applicants. Another factor is the country's economic situation. With limited job opportunities at home, there is concern that visa holders may attempt to work illegally in the U.S. As a result, scrutiny has increased across all application categories. There's also a lack of awareness about how to properly prepare for the visa process. Many rely on incomplete guidance or outdated advice, which ends up hurting their chances. Inaccurate information can be the difference between approval and rejection. Although thousands still apply each year, visa approval remains elusive for many Nepalis. The emotional and financial toll of repeated denials is discouraging. For now, the American dream remains out of reach for most hopeful applicants from Nepal. Number 7. Cambodia. Cambodian nationals are facing increasingly high visa rejection rates when applying for entry into the United States. According to U.S. State Department figures, rejection rates for non-immigrant visas have climbed to over 40% in recent years. The reasons range from suspected overstays to concerns about forged documents. One of the biggest issues is the lack of economic stability. Applicants often struggle to prove that they have strong enough financial or professional ties to return home. This puts many legitimate travelers under a cloud of suspicion. Tourist and student visa applicants alike are required to show significant proof of their intent to return, but most fall short under U.S. consular standards. According to interviews conducted by Radio Free Asia, many Cambodians feel the interview process is biased and confusing. Even minor inconsistencies can lead to swift denial. Cambodia's diplomatic relations with the U.S. have also been strained over recent political events. The U.S. has expressed concerns about Cambodia's human rights record and authoritarian leadership, which could be influencing immigration scrutiny. As a result, many Cambodian families are turning away from the U.S. and looking to other countries for travel and study opportunities. The American visa system is now seen as unpredictable and unfair by many Cambodian citizens. Number 6. Myanmar. Myanmar's visa rejection rates have surged over the past few years due to the country's ongoing political instability and human rights issues. According to U.S. Embassy records, rejection rates for Burmese applicants now exceed 45%, one of the highest in Southeast Asia. The 2021 military coup has severely damaged Myanmar's international image. Consular officers now treat visa applications from Myanmar with added caution, fearing that applicants may use the visa to escape the conflict and not return. Even Burmese students and family visitors are finding it hard to get through the process. Many are denied on the grounds of insufficient financial evidence or unclear travel intent. The civil unrest back home complicates these requirements. Moreover, the U.S. government has suspended certain diplomatic and immigration services in the region. This has caused delays and left many applications in limbo for months. Some have been outright canceled. For now, Burmese citizens hoping to travel to the U.S. are facing a tough uphill battle. The country's visa approval future remains uncertain until political stability is restored. Number 5. Afghanistan. Afghanistan has one of the highest U.S. visa rejection rates in Asia. According to U.S. State Department data, rejection rates for Afghan applicants often exceed 50%. This makes it one of the most challenging countries for visa hopefuls. Much of the rejection is tied to national security concerns. The Taliban's return to power in 2021 raised red flags for consular officers. Applicants face intense scrutiny, even for humanitarian or educational purposes. Many Afghan applicants struggle to provide complete documentation. Embassy closures and disrupted civil services complicate the process further. Getting an interview appointment is a hurdle in itself. Special immigrant visas, once a lifeline for those who supported U.S. missions, now move at a snail's pace. According to Human Rights Watch, thousands remain in limbo, awaiting decisions for years. This has led to rising frustration and despair. Afghans hoping to reach the U.S. must navigate a system stacked against them. With every rejection, hope for a safer, stable life grows dimmer. For now, approvals are rare and uncertainty rules. Number 4. Iran. Iranian applicants face consistent and widespread rejections from the U.S. visa system. As of 2024, refusal rates remain well above 55%, according to State Department figures. For most Iranians, the path to the U.S. is virtually closed. The core issue lies in the strained diplomatic relations between Washington and Tehran. Years of conflict over nuclear policy and economic sanctions have created a deeply hostile environment. This tension spills over into the visa process. Even highly qualified applicants with clean records are often denied. Students accepted into Ivy League schools have reported abrupt rejections. Family visits and business trips are no exception. Consular interviews are brief and highly selective. Many Iranians report being dismissed with little explanation or consideration. This has led to a sharp decline in trust toward the U.S. immigration system. Without major diplomatic breakthroughs, Iranians will likely remain on the outs. For now, most applications end in disappointment. The odds are simply not in their favor. Number 3. Yemen. Yemen faces one of the most staggering U.S. visa rejection rates in Asia. According to U.S. State Department reports, rejection rates often exceed 60%, placing it near the top of the list. The ongoing civil war and lack of diplomatic presence severely complicate the visa process. Most U.S. embassies in the region have limited services or none at all for Yemeni applicants. Many are forced to apply in third countries like Egypt or Jordan, adding to the complexity. Even then, success is far from guaranteed. Security concerns play a dominant role in refusals. The U.S. classifies Yemen as a high-risk country due to terrorist activity and unstable governance. This label leads to extreme vetting or outright denial, even for humanitarian cases. Family reunification and student visas are especially hard to obtain. Applicants often wait years without updates or receive blanket denials. Many report feeling completely shut out of the process. With no clear diplomatic path forward, the situation remains dire. For Yemeni citizens, the dream of entering the U.S. is increasingly out of reach. The system offers little hope for change. Number 2. Syria. Syria's visa rejection rate is among the highest globally, often topping 70%, according to U.S. government data. The ongoing civil conflict and strained U.S.-Syria relations are at the heart of this crisis. The U.S. has no embassy operations in Syria, forcing all applicants to apply through embassies in neighboring countries. This added hurdle makes the process logistically and financially difficult. For many, it's simply not possible. Security concerns dominate every application review. Even students and family members are subject to intense scrutiny or automatic denial. The risk is considered too great. According to Human Rights Watch, thousands of Syrians with strong legal grounds have been denied entry. These include medical patients, refugees, and academic scholars. Most are given no explanation. With conflict still raging, there are no signs of improvement. Syria remains one of the toughest places to secure a U.S. visa. The barriers feel more political than procedural. Number 1. Laos. Topping the list is Laos, a country where more than 75% of U.S. visa applications are denied, according to the latest U.S. State Department data. Despite relatively peaceful conditions, Laos consistently records one of the highest rejection rates in Asia. The core issue lies in the lack of financial transparency and economic opportunity. U.S. officials worry that applicants may attempt to overstay or work illegally due to limited prospects at home. This results in rejections, even for genuine travelers. There is also a significant challenge with incomplete or inconsistent documentation. Many applicants are unaware of the stringent proof of return requirements. Without strong ties to home, like property or long-term employment, their chances drop dramatically. Students and tourists from Laos face an uphill battle. Even with sponsors or full educational funding, visas are frequently denied. This has led to growing skepticism toward the U.S. immigration system. For now, Laos remains the toughest country in Asia to secure a U.S. visa from. Until conditions and perceptions change, the door remains largely closed. For many Laotians, the American dream is just that, a dream. Here are 5 practical tips to consider if you're applying for a U.S. visa from a high-rejection Asian country. Prepare strong supporting documents. Ensure you have clear proof of financial stability, employment, and strong ties to your home country to reduce suspicion of overstaying. Be honest and consistent in your application. Any false information or contradictions can lead to automatic rejection, so double-check all answers for accuracy. Practice for the visa interview. Be confident, concise, and clear about your travel purpose, and avoid giving vague or overly complicated answers. Apply for the right visa type. Choosing the wrong category, tourist, student, work, etc., can lead to denial, so make sure your purpose aligns with the visa you're requesting. Show intent to return home. Demonstrating family, property, a job, or other commitments back home helps convince officials that you'll return after your U.S. visit. From Thailand to Laos, visa rejection rates across Asia are on the rise, and the reasons are both political and procedural. Whether it's security fears, economic instability, or strained diplomatic ties, many nations now face steep odds when applying to visit the United States. According to the U.S. State Department, over 1 in 3 applications from Asia is denied, a number that continues to grow annually. For millions of hopeful travelers, students, and families, this means heartbreak, confusion, and lost opportunities. While some may eventually reapply or seek alternative destinations, others are left feeling shut out and unheard. In an increasingly interconnected world, such barriers raise critical questions about fairness and access. Which country surprised you most on this list? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us again for more eye-opening insights from Globe Discoveries.